Hi, I'm Camilla from the Fi Resellers, and today we are going to talk about beginning on eBay, how you start a listing on eBay, and some of the main differences between eBay and Poshmark. When you are logged into your eBay account to create a new listing, this is on desktop. To create a new listing, you come up to this area here where it says Create Listing, and you create a single listing. So on this page, you put in what you're selling and eBay will pull up similar listings so you can do what's called a sell similar. So you're gonna find a listing that's similar to yours and you are going to be able to copy some of the specifics from that listing over to yours so you can list even faster. So today I'm listing an Adidas sweatshirt. So I'm gonna search what I would put as the main part of my listing. Adidas 3-stripe pullover. And see, when I search that, a couple things come up. I usually go with whatever is the closest. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Like this one is black, mine is gray, but I can switch that once I am actually in the listing. You can also continue without selecting a product. That means that you're just gonna go to a blank listing, and you can always do that instead. That's what I'm going to actually do today so that I can show you, all the different parts of the listing. So when you click continue without selecting a product, this is what comes up. So it has in the title, my specific search. Here, I am going to finish my title. So mine is a men's size 2XL and it's gray. And it is a crew neck sweatshirt. So I'm just adding a couple more keywords. And just like on Poshmark, it counts down the number of characters that you have left in the title. It's 80 characters on both platforms, and this is a cotton blend. So in my title, I always put the brand name and then what I'm selling, whether it's men's or women's, if it's a clothing item, the size, the color, and then any other features of this item. So the fabric content, if there are other keywords that I want to include, that's what I include at the end. And you can see I only have 2 characters left. So I'm pretty close to that 80 character limit, which is what I want to do. Then on eBay, there are a lot more options. So you'll see on here that this page is a little bit busier than a Poshmark page. So here you have the option to have your title bolded in the search results, but that costs $4. So I'm not gonna do that. You can also add a subtitle, which is again, $2. You can see all this on the listing page. You can put in a SKU number here. So that's if you have an inventory system and you have it in a certain number bin and you wanna add that here, you can do that, or other kind of notes to yourself. And then here you have the category. So when you do the original search, it should come into the category in which you're looking for it. So just by putting in, Adidas pullover, eBay knew that it was a men's hoodie or sweatshirt. If this was wrong, let's say, it said it was gonna be in women's clothing or something, here are some of the suggested categories, but you can also browse categories to choose the exact one that you want. You can see this kind of cookie trail from the smallest category back to the largest category. So you can use that to find what you're looking for in terms of categories. There are many more categories on eBay than there are on Poshmark because you can sell so many more different categories of things. So you want to make sure that you're listing within the right category. That's really important. Then here you can add a store category. I don't have any store categories. There are 2 different types of accounts. You can just have an account, or you can subscribe to a store. And what that means is that you pay a monthly fee, but you get access to lower fees. You're able to customize your page a little bit more, and you have more of the free listings. So eBay has a limit on the number of listings that you can have for free each month. So if you don't have a store, you're limited to the number of just free listings that you're allowed, and there are different categories within that. So you have a certain number of buy it now listings that you're allowed and a certain number of auction listings that you're allowed. If you are a brand new account, you've never been on eBay before, eBay will limit the number of listings that you're allowed to 10 listings in the first month. You can request to have that reviewed as you start making sales and as you start shipping things out, but it really helps eBay to know that you are a trusted seller. So that's the reason why they do that originally. But then as your store grows, you may want to subscribe to a store size, and we'll put down here, the different sizes. And so that's really up to you and the size of your business, which one you think that you would need. So here on variations, what that means is that if you had a shirt and you had it in a size small, a medium, a large, this is where you can create those variations. Or if you had the same shirt and it came in green, blue, and purple, you could create that there. A UPC is kind of that barcode number. So if you have an item that has that barcode number, you can put that in here. And then here you want to choose the condition. So is your item new with tags? Is it new without tags? Is it new with defects? Is it pre-owned? So mine is pre-owned, so I'm going to put that here. Then here you put in a condition description. So this is not your full description. This is just to say whether something is, in excellent condition, whether it's in good condition, whether it's in fair condition, to point out any flaws that it might have, anything like that. So if it has a stain, if it has a hole, something like that, you want to put that here because that little text goes right next to the picture so buyers can see it. So here I'm going to put in that this is gently used. This doesn't have any flaws. It's, just gently used. And that buyers should see the photos for measurements. That's where I put in my measurements. So here you add the pictures just like you would on Poshmark, you just upload them. Okay, so now all my pictures are uploaded. You have the option to, edit your pictures through eBay. I don't ever do that. I usually edit my pictures before I upload them. Then you have another option here to pay some money to have a bigger picture. That's something that you are welcome to do. I never click one of those. I've only once accidentally clicked one of those and then I saw the fee and I thought, what happened? Why did I get that fee? You can, I don't think it's necessary to make sales on eBay to pay all those extra fees. So then below your pictures, you're gonna have required item specifics. So these are things that you have to fill out for your listing to go live on eBay. And for each different category, there are different required specifics. So here, you have to put in the brand, the type, the size type, the color, the style, and the department. So most of these will be auto-filled from your title, but sometimes they won't be. Let's say, the type wasn't filled in. So here, there are only two options, hoodie or sweatshirt. And this one, my item does not have a hood, so I'm gonna click the sweatshirt. And then the style, you can see here that there are a couple different styles. And mine is a pullover, so that's what I'm gonna choose. For each of these item specifics, if there's not one that exactly fits your item, just choose the closest approximation. You can also enter your own, and that is really helpful down in these recommended item specifics. So for these, you want to fill out as many of these as possible. I'm gonna fill out a couple more of these so that my item ranks in search. And I also want to check all of these to make sure that they are accurate to what my item actually is. And then down here, this is where you type in your item description. So just like on Poshmark, you have an area for a description. This would be where you would put anything else that you would like to include. If you write out all of your measurements, you can put them here. I usually keep mine pretty basic because most of the other information is in that item specific. And I feel like I have enough information here to make the sale. So then coming down here, you have the option to have your listing be fixed price. That means that it has a basic price, just like on Poshmark, you set the price, someone comes in and buys it at that price, and that's that. The other option that you have on eBay is to do an auction, and you have a starting price, which has to be a minimum of 99 cents, but can be up to anything that you would like it to be. And then you can also, within an auction, you can set a buy it now price. So say you wanted to start the auction at 99 cents, but you wanted to, set a price that someone could come in and just buy right then for $25. So that's an option with having an auction. However, if you're coming from Poshmark and selling mostly clothes and shoes, it might be more comfortable for you to stick with that fixed price listing. That's what most of my listings are. So then I set the price, and same as on Poshmark, I look to see what other items that are similar to mine have sold for, and I set the price similar to that so that mine, is in a comparable range. And then you have the option to allow offers or not. So this is something that is different than Poshmark. You can have just your set price and you do not allow offers. That's that. So if someone wants to buy your item, they just have to come in and buy it. So that is an option. Another option is to allow offers. And here you can automatically accept offers that are within a certain range. So my item is priced at $25, so I could automatically accept offers that are at least $20. If that's the final price that I'm looking for, then I can fill that out. And then I can automatically decline offers lower than, say, $5 or $10. if I don't want to see, low ball offers. Personally, I don't fill out either of these. I like to see each offer and weigh each one, but that's an option and it actually creates a little bit less work for you. Then you can put in the quantity that you have. So say you have 2 of this exact same item, you can put in 2 for the quantity. And then here you have the option to do a private listing, which just means that when a person buys your item, it doesn't show it to other users on eBay. I don't see any reason to click this button to allow it. It doesn't seem to make a difference. Then you have the option to donate a certain percentage of your sales to a charity. So you can, donate whatever percentage you would like, down to 10%. And you can choose, really just about any nonprofit. You can find a lot of them on here. We donate to our local St. Vincent de Paul, but you do not have to. That's just an option that you have, and it does lower the fees that you have to pay. And it puts this little ribbon on your listing. I think personally that it allows me to make more sales because people see that, at least a portion of the profits are going to charity. So here you can put in sales tax. eBay will automatically, just like Poshmark, collect sales tax on your behalf from the buyers and pay it to the states that need to. Okay, so here we have the section on shipping, and this is one of the biggest differences between Poshmark and eBay. So on eBay, you have to choose shipping for each item. And so you have to know what an item weighs and how much you will have to pay in shipping before you price the item if you're doing free shipping or if you're choosing the shipping here. So on eBay, you have basically 3 main options in terms of shipping. You can offer free shipping, and what that means is that the buyer pays, whatever the listing amount is, and then you, from that amount that the buyer has paid, purchase the shipping label from eBay or from another website. Then there's the option of a flat rate shipping. So say you want to charge $5 on shirts, $10 on pants and dresses and shoes. That is an option as well. So then the buyer pays your list price plus the flat shipping, and again, you purchase the shipping label from the amount that the buyer has given you. The third option, and the one that we use, is called calculated shipping. And that means that we set the weight and the dimensions of each item. eBay calculates the distance between where we live and where the buyer lives, including the weight, and then calculates how much it would be to buy that from the post office. And that amount is what the buyer pays in addition to the listing price. And then from that pool of money, we purchase the shipping label. So in all of these settings, basically the buyer pays one lump sum to you. And then from that sum, you then purchase the shipping label. So you need to know how much the item weighs because the weight will determine the cost and determine the type of shipping that you're allowed. So first class mail is things that are under a pound. Priority mail are things that are over a pound for the post office. If you're using those 2 types of mail, you also want to put in the dimension. So one really important thing that you will need if you're starting an eBay store from going from Poshmark is that you will need a shipping scale. So that's something that you can weigh these items so that you have the correct amount of shipping on there. The last thing you want is for your item to arrive to the buyer and the post office says to them, you owe us $10 because the seller didn't put enough postage on this. That will not be good for your eBay business. That means that buyers will be upset with you. They may even not get the item because it gets sent back to you because there wasn't enough postage on it in the first place. So you really want to make sure that you have the exact amount of postage that you need. So on here, because this is a sweatshirt, we will ship this in a padded flat rate envelope. And so that's what I have here as the shipping policy, but there are so many different options that you can choose. And so what I would recommend is familiarizing yourself with a couple main ones that you are going to kind of stick with. First class mail, priority mail, flat rate shipping, and all of that. Look into that and make sure that you have the supplies that you need for each of those. Kind of learn a few of those rules so that you know when you're listing, these items that you're choosing the correct shipping. And there are many YouTube videos out there about how to ship on eBay that will help you step by step and walk you through that. This video is not one of them, but I hope that kind of that short explanation helps a little bit. Another main difference between Poshmark and eBay is the return policy. So on eBay, there are a couple different options when it comes to returns. So all buyers are able to return items if the item is not as described or if it arrived damaged. In both of those cases, the buyer is allowed to return the item or ask for a refund. You're kind of obligated to that because as a seller, you're obligated to send things that are as described and to send things in working condition if you describe them as such. That's one area of returns. Another area of returns are, if a buyer just doesn't like the item, or with clothing and shoes, if the item doesn't fit. So with that, you can say, I don't accept returns due to fit. You can say that I do accept returns due to fit, but that the buyer has to pay the return shipping. That's what our policy is. Just so that we aren't, sending things out, people are wearing them, and then they get to send it back for free. Or you can have free returns, which means that you pay the shipping for the buyer to return that item to you. Even if it, doesn't fit, you can set, which reasons the buyer can choose in which you have free returns or in which you have buyer paid returns. All of that. So you have a couple of different options in terms of return policy. What we found is what works for us is that kind of middle ground where buyers are able to return for fit, but that they have to pay for the return shipping. Again, that's up to you. You can decide what you feel comfortable with, but just know that even if you have no returns, you say, I don't accept returns. If you send out an item that is not as described or defective, eBay will still ensure that you have that item returned to you and that you refund the buyer, just so that buyers aren't getting things, they aren't getting scammed. Just like you don't want to get scammed, buyers also don't want to get scammed. Okay, so here I have the option to put in my weight and dimensions. Because I'm using the padded flat rate envelope, I don't have to put in the dimensions here, and I just always put 1 to 2 pounds. That's about how much a sweatshirt is. The next option you have on eBay is to promote your listing. And what this does is that it's sort of like you're paying for an ad a little bit. It's kind of interesting because it doesn't always charge you. You are able to move your item up in search for a certain percentage or a certain amount of time, and you are only charged this extra fee. So for me, it would only be 25 cents, and I'm only charged this extra 25 cents if the reason the buyer clicked on my listing was because it was promoted. So it's not always going to be, the one that says like ad or promoted. So I have all of my items promoted at 1%, but I don't always pay that 1% on every single listing. It's only if the buyer bought it because it was promoted. But for me, it seems worth it, especially if you think about the difference between the fees on Poshmark, which is 20%, and the fees on eBay, which is closer to about 18%. So I'm happy to pay 1 more percent to have my listing be seen by more people. That gets me to about 19%, and that's pretty much comparable to Poshmark. So here you have the option for volume pricing. So that's if you have a multiple quantity within your listing and you want to have buyers be able to buy more and get a discount that way. When you have just like single listings, things that you bought from thrift stores or, garage sales, you probably aren't going to use this volume pricing very often because you have one-off type items. Now you're ready to list your item. At the bottom here, you'll see that I have a fee. That's because I'm out of the number of listings that I'm allowed for my store subscription this month. However, when you are just beginning, you have, free listings. You have a certain number of free listings, but once you reach that limit, then each listing that you create costs 25 cents or less if you have even a bigger store. It all kind of varies. So the fee structure on eBay is much more variable than on Poshmark. On Poshmark, it's a flat 20% on every single sale. On eBay, there are lots of different little fees here and there, and they add up to about the same as Poshmark, about 20%. So once you're ready to list your item, you can click list. Okay, and there you go. You have your item listed for sale. From there, you can create more listings. You can, if you click I'm done now, that will take you back to your main page of, either your drafts or your active listings. So you'll be able to edit your listings. You can, respond to offers, things like that. So please let me know if you have any questions about starting on eBay from Poshmark. I hope that this video was helpful. I feel like I see a lot of videos that talk about the differences between Poshmark and eBay, but not a lot that show you the actual listing page and show you the differences between Poshmark and eBay. So if you are getting started on eBay and you have questions, please leave them in the comments below. We'd love to answer your questions and help you in any way possible. Hopefully, that space in the comments can be a place of learning and growing. So even if you have a question, we can answer it, and then other people can learn from that question as well. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps YouTube find our videos. And if you aren't subscribed to our channel, you should consider subscribing. We make a lot of content on reselling, on eBay, on Poshmark, on Mercari, on Facebook Marketplace, tips and tricks, and what sold. So if those are things that are interesting to you, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.